Alright lads, I'm SAKO Sniper, but you can call me Jack. In the last update, the French tree got something that they desperately needed, a new top tier premium. Unfortunately for French mains, what we got was pretty awful, both in terms of being a good grinder, as well as being an enjoyable tank to play. The VBCI-2 is an 8x8 infantry fighting vehicle developed for the French army as a replacement for the aging AMX-10P. It uses lightweight aluminium armour to allow the vehicle to be airlift capable, similar to the new M10 Booker, enabling the French army to rapidly deploy a serious expeditionary force anywhere large enough for an A400 to land. While supporting infantry is a vital role in real-life operations, in War Thunder it really isn't. While most of the other infantry fighting vehicles come equipped with ATGMs to supplement their main cannons, this premium is stuck with a rather basic 30mm with pretty lackluster fin rounds, less performance than the M3 Bradley, at a full batter rating higher. Gaijin truly hates the French tech tree. In game, the VBCI is a rank 6 batter rating 9.0 light tank located in the French tech tree. It is available for Golden Eagles rather than on the Gaijin store, so we may get another store-bought premium in the future, which is desperately needed in my opinion, as France is one of the nations yet to receive a batter rating 9.7 to 10.3 premium, making it actually quite hard to grind the French top tier, as your batter rating 9.0 premium is usually dragged up to 10.0 with the Terms and Leopard 2 spam. In terms of the reward multipliers, the RP base is 2.2, the same as the other rank 6 French premium, the AMX-30 Super. The Super actually has a better SL modifier as well, of 1.95 compared to the VBCI's 1.65. Another punch in the face for the Frenchies. So is this Eiffel Tower wannabe worth adding to your collection? And I'm not joking. This thing is as tall as the mouse. It isn't exactly subtle. Then again, being subtle isn't really a French concept. So is it worth spending 45 quid on this premium? That's the equivalent of 168 croissants. Or is this vehicle, like a lot of French culture in general, very flashy and cool, but severely lacking in substance? Now with my patented anti-French joke out of the way, let's roll the introduction. Alright lads, welcome back. The VCBI is powered by an engine producing 600 horsepower. Combined with the vehicle's weight of 32 tons, it gives us a power to weight ratio of 18.8 horsepower per ton. The VCBI in general is pretty nippy off the line, helped by the decent power to weight ratio. The 8x8 nature of the design means we are always going to lose some torque compared to tractor vehicles, but we of course gain a lot more in the high-end speed area. This light tank can retreat at a record speed of 101 km per hour, giving you a huge battlefield flexibility, as you can rapidly relocate from an area, as well as rush objectives at the start of a game. But we do have one major issue with all of this, and it's something I've already touched on: the size of the tank. It's absolutely huge, and by light tank standards, it's galactic. Because of this, sneaking around the map like a traditional light tank isn't something that you can really do. It negates all of the benefits of your good mobility, as it's hard to lay an ambush when what looks like a shipping container going over 100 km per hour is bounding around the map. I've been killed many times travelling around the edges of a map, routes which usually are safe, like depressions in the land, but they no longer act as cover, as the entire top of your tank is still poking out. The only benefit of your height is the ability to look over certain objects, allowing you to fire over them and giving you a small degree of cover. In terms of hard survivability though, if we take a look at this cutaway, we can see a large void in the rear of the vehicle, which normally would house the dismounted troops, obviously not present in War Thunder. The vehicle's crew of 3 men are located in the middle of the hull, with the engine at the front. The ammunition and cannon are isolated in the turret, allowing you to go hull down without risking any of your crew members being killed. Remember that this only works against fin rounds, as chemical based munitions will overpressure the crew. You can see that the turret and the 50 cal mount on top really do double the height of the tank, visualizing my problem with the height of the tank from earlier. For the armour, the VCBI has an aluminium alloy hull which is a flat 35mm thick all over. We then have additional high hardness rolled steel bolted on top, the result of which isn't really anything special. Against the BMP2's APDS belt at batter rating 8.3, we can see that only the turret and lower frontal plate are able to be penetrated, but against the BMP-2M's fin rounds at 9.7, and they are able to go straight through pretty much everywhere. Frontally, the protection against conventional 25 and 30mm cannons is decent, but you will still be immobilized and your gun knocked out. Higher tier autocannons firing fin is a different matter entirely though, as these and anything larger in caliber pose a serious threat to you from all aspects. Because of the lack of stealth and inability to take hits, the playstyle of the VCBI is basically just a support vehicle. You're unable to be a cruiser really, to borrow a naval term. You can't go off on your own and independently cause havoc on the battlefield. Following in your main battle tanks and sniping enemy barrels is pretty much all you can do on a lot of the more modern War Thunder maps. The older maps with larger open areas, you can do some Toda War Thunders I guess, but my results were mixed at best. We then come on to the main gun of this tank, and it's armed with the 30mm Bushmaster Mark 44 cannon. This has a fire rate of 200 rounds per minute, and is fed in 75 round clips or belts. We can carry 450 rounds in total, spread across 6 belts. 2 belts are loaded at all times, one either side of the gun, allowing you to rapidly change to a different ammunition type. Once a full belt has been expended, you will have to wait a minimum of 10 seconds in order for the belt to be fully replenished. While the gun has a high rate of fire, its accuracy and muzzle velocity basically resemble a pissed up Frenchman trying to play darts. The rounds go everywhere and have significant drop to them, making long range accuracy basically non-existent. With the already low damage gun, not being able to accurately target weak spots is just another kick in the balls for the French. The turret and gun itself have decent capabilities though. Our turret can rotate at a maximum of 60 degrees per second, and we have 10 degrees of gun depression and 45 degrees of gun elevation. This elevation allows us to utilise the IRST system fitted to the vehicle, giving us the ability to track and target low-flying objects. It works best against helicopters due to their lower speed, but it can also be used against jets. We also have very good zoom on the VBCI, with a base 2x zoom, which increases to nearly 15x zoom, the latter of which can cause tunnel vision at close range though, so I would only use this at longer ranges. Being a modern vehicle, we also have a second generation thermal imager for both the gunner and commander's sights. These thermals, along with the zoom level, allows you to be a very effective scout, but as I said, due to the inaccuracy of the gun, engaging enemies at long range isn't really recommended. You aren't likely to kill them quickly, which is going to draw a lot of attention to your position, defeating the purpose and playstyle of a light tank. You will generally know when you are being targeted however, as this tank comes equipped with a laser warning receiver, as well as smoke grenades, so you probably know the drill. If you're being pinged, just pop smoke and reverse out of there. So now let's cover the ammunition. Our stock belt consists of 1 APDS round and 2 HE rounds. We also have a pure high explosive belt, which I usually take 1 clip of, and for the other 5 slots of ammunition, I take out the Mark 258 APFSDS rounds. These things are tiny, weighing only 0.1 kilo, so literally like throwing a dart at an enemy. At point blank range, they can pen around 116mm of armor, and they do hold that flat pen quite well at range. The problem is the angled penetration. Unlike the high power 120 fin rounds, these cannot easily go through the sides of enemy main battle tanks, and just forget about going through the front. Coming across enemies angled at 45 degrees again is a huge problem, as traditionally the weaker side armor still cannot be penetrated, leading you to again having to target the gun barrel and then flank. Even when these rounds do manage to penetrate, they usually don't do massive amounts of damage due to their low weight, they don't create a huge amount of spalling, and overall the VBCI just isn't really a reliable grinder or killer. You can't guarantee to get kills, even if you do everything right. Sometimes your shells just decide they don't want to do damage today, an enemy turns their turret and blows you away, even though you've just pumped 20 plus rounds into their side. So like a lot of my reviews of late, I can't really recommend people buy this tank. It isn't fun to play, it certainly isn't noob friendly, and more importantly, it just doesn't have a lineup. France mainly has an 8.3 lineup and then jumps straight to top tier, with the only other battle rating 9.0 being the AMX 32-105, and even then you lack a decent CAS plane or helicopter. In my opinion, there's no reason that the VCBI should be battle rating 9.0. There are countless rank 6 wheeled premiums with high caliber guns, like the WMA and the Ruicat, which are far more powerful and sit at lower battle ratings. This tank could easily go down to battle rating 8.7 if not 8.3. This certainly is no Puma, it isn't tanky or survivable, and any tank above rank 2 could easily kill it. My advice for War Thunder players would be to save your money until France gets what it really needs, a high battle rating premium main battle tank. Hey lads, if you made it this far into the video, then thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I have a whole load of other content on my channel, including tutorials and other vehicle reviews, so why not give them a watch, and if you like them, please do consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching though boys, I've been SAKO, and I'll see you in the next video.